How are you, everyone? I am teacher Peter Wanjela Namasaka, and I would like to welcome you today for our English lesson, whereby we are going to discuss about the subject-verb agreement. But before I do that, I would like to inform you of the practice that you are supposed to consider in order to assist in curbing the spread of this deadly virus that is corona. That kindly stay at home, and if you have to leave your home, then make sure you put on your mask. Avoid shaking people's hands. Wash your hands thoroughly using water and soap, and something else that maintain social distance. And above all, let us continue praying, because I believe that in the prayer, God is going to see us through this. Now, let me start by defining what a subject is. A subject is simply a person or an item doing an action. That is the doer of the action. Then let me also define the word verb. A verb is simply what it's done by a subject. What it is done by a subject, that is a verb. Now, there are some rules you really need to consider in order to correctly write or maybe pronounce sentences that are correct in relation to subject and verb agreement. And rule number one is that a singular subject will always take a singular verb. A singular subject will always take a singular verb. For example, the boy is playing. The boy is playing. Look at the word boy. The word boy is a singular subject, and therefore it will take a singular verb. And that's why I'm saying the boy is. The word is a singular verb. And rule number two is that a plural subject will always take a plural verb. A plural subject will always take a plural verb. For example, the boys are playing. Look at the word boys. Boys is a plural subject. It is a plural subject. And then are is a plural verb. That is rule number C, is that a sentence, if a sentence starts with words such as each, every, none, each of, one of, nobody, neither, neither of, somebody, everybody, either of, none of, everyone of, and so forth, then this sentence must take a singular verb. It must take a singular verb. That's why we are saying that if a sentence starts with the words I've just mentioned, then it must take a singular verb. Let me give an example in a sentence form. Each of them is happy. Each of them is happy. Rule number 4, when either or neither nor is used in a sentence, the verb depends on the second subject mentioned. That if you use either or, neither nor in a sentence, then the verb depends on the second subject used. For example, neither the driver nor the passengers were hurt. So the second subject there is passengers, and therefore it will take a plural verb, that is were. If maybe our second subject could be in singular, then I could have taken a singular verb. For example, neither the driver nor the passenger is hurt. Rule number E, that singular subjects followed by phrases beginning with as well as, with, together with, including, will always take a singular verb. Let me give a very practical example in a sentence form. Joel as well as Martin has a chair. Look at the word Joel, and we are having Martin. And then we are having as well as. Therefore, we take is. He has a chair. Has is a singular verb. Rule number F. Some words appear plural, that is when you pronounce them, but in meaning they are in singular. Such words will always take a singular verb. Words like news, gymnastics, mathematics, politics, physics, missiles. These words, they end with the S. And when you pronounce them, you may think that they are in plural, but in meaning they are singular. So such words will always take a singular verb. Let me give a very good example in a sentence form. The news was terrible. It is wrong to think that the word news, because it's ending with S, and therefore it's in plural, and therefore it's supposed to take a plural verb. Because this is a word that sounds plural, but in meaning it is in a singular. So you cannot say the news were terrible. Very wrong. Rule number G, collective nouns usually take a singular verb. We have collective nouns like pride, pride of lions. These are what you call collective nouns. So collective nouns will always take a singular verb. An example in a sentence form. The pride of lions was hunting. It is very wrong to say that the pride of lions were hunting. Rule number H. Titles of single entities like, for example, movies, books, and countries are always, they always take a singular verb. Like when you talk about a country called Kenya, it is only one. So if you are talking about this, then it will always take a singular verb. You talk about maybe titles of maybe movies, books, and what have you, like Coming to Bath, a title like a book like Coming to Bath. This one, it is a title of a single entity, and therefore it will take a singular verb. An example in a sentence form, Kenya is safer nowadays. Kenya is one, and that's why we are using a singular verb is. Rule number I. In simple present tense, when talking about general truths or habitual happenings. So in simple present tense, when talking about general truths or habitual happenings, plural subjects takes singular verbs, and singular subjects takes plural verbs. Let me give examples in a sentence form. A boy is a singular subject. A boy is a singular subject, and therefore it will take a plural verb. A boy goes to school every morning. The action of going to school is repeated, and therefore we are to take a plural verb because of that. My dear pupils, we have reached at the end of our lesson today. I have some few questions for you. Question number 1. Each of the pupils dash awarded. Question number 3. Anybody dash allowed to enter. Question number 4. The farmers dash planted the seeds. Question number 5. Politics dash not for faint-hearted. That is the end of our lesson. Let us meet in our next lesson. Goodbye.